views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey everyone, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WPLS. Welcome to Open BX RX. Got another fantastic show lined up for you today. In fact, coming up on today's show, we'll speak to the director of an organization that is impacting youth sports and academics in our city. And then we'll keep on going. We'll check in with the chief executive officer of a Latin-led health organization about how they are and what they are doing to improve mental health services for our frontline workers. And after that, we'll highlight a hip hop artist who will promote his latest single and album and speak about how he came up in the music industry. And then Bobby C, of course, he has the latest in the world of sports. And then finally, we'll hear from a local musician and his manager who will update us on the latest projects he is working on. All of this and more is all headed your way because we are wide open. Let's do it. You ready? Here we go. Dr. Bob Lee. I'm your host, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx to New York City straight to your TV set. So you can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, here we go, leading things off. Our first guest is the Director of Youth Partnerships for America Scores New York. She's here today to speak about the work that they are doing to build a better and more equitable New York City for our youth. So please welcome to the show, Zahkiya Brown. Zahkiya, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Bob. Good morning. How are you today? Glad to be here. Thanks for having me here today.
Yes. Now, the last time we met, we were over at the, let me see, we were in the gym and we were doing a big partnership with the
Empowerment Fair with Riverbank State Park.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And that was just a few months ago. And you were doing such a great job. I said, you know what? Who's this bubbly girl over here with that table? And she's talking to all these people coming by. Tell us about some of the things that you're doing. Because when I asked you, you said, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm rocking this and I'm rocking this too. Tell us about it.
It's a lot. You know, living in New York City, you got to dibble and dabble. But I'm fortunate and grateful to work for America Scores, which is a nonprofit in New York City. And I've been with them for about 6.5 years. I started as an independent coach with them. I played a little soccer in junior high school and high school, got a little money to play in college. And then I'm an independent coach for America Scores. Moved up the ranks, became a program coordinator, a director of high school program. Now I'm the director of youth partnerships, which has been amazing, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, tell us about youth partnerships. Because the last time let me see, you gave me a soccer ball.
That was a hit. Those giveaways were a hit. You saw
the
students at our table?
I still have mine.
I needed more. So America Scores, we work with students in New York City and boroughs in the Bronx, Inwood, Central Harlem, Brooklyn, and we're within New York City public schools. So we are hiring teachers and we're turning them into coaches, and we're actually helping to build that relationship. So students are actually showing up to school more. We're seeing attendance raising, test scores are raising. The literacy, I think with the soccer and introducing poetry with the civic engagement piece, it helps to increase literacy in New York City for our students. So I think that is super imperative. And then I get the fortunate event to coach all of our high school and alumni students. So our students go K-8 with America Scores, and then once they graduate out, I deal with all of the high school and college students in New York City.
And it's not difficult because the teachers are already like coaches or parents, sort of, kind of. When the parents leave the home, they go to the teachers, and then you just give them that edge, you know.
And I think
we need to learn how to coach a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's great when teachers are with students from the morning to the afternoon. But when you get to coach them in soccer, teach them about leadership, you're able to have lessons in racial equity, fair play. Those are key factors and driving forces in America Scores. And when teachers are able to build those relationships with students, you see the switch. And I think that that's important.
What is the mission with America Scores?
So we hope and we seek to provide equitable opportunities for students in New York City. We are creating experiences for students in New York City, letting them express themselves through poetry and civic engagement opportunities. They're learning soccer. They're learning how to be leaders on and off the field. And we're using the social justice youth framework, which is super important in New York City. So we're able to emphasize racial equity, that teamwork aspect, fair play, and highlighting youth voice, I think is super important with America Scores. So through that poetry aspect, we have different events. So highlighting youth voice, super important.
Yeah. And how's it impacting their education? Are they getting better grades? Or do they have to stay at a certain level or reach a certain level or make the grade at a certain point?
So our curriculum that we administer is based in social emotional learning. So we're teaching kids how to build relationships, right? How to have self-confidence and awareness. And we're seeing that students, they have game days every Wednesday and Friday. So they're actually showing up to look forward to playing soccer and being with their teammates. We're seeing test scores changing. We're seeing literacy and reading comprehension changing. I'm seeing our students go from working summer youth to becoming coaches within our program. So I think that that's important too. Providing equitable opportunities through employment is important as well.
Zahkiya, do they come back and help out?
Yeah, so all of the programs that I run, I actually just started a program with Nike. I run a Coaching for Change powered by Nike Academy, and I'm able to hire 20 students in New York City. And they're actually youth coaches working with the younger youth within America Scores. So we're also creating like this mentorship aspect as well. So
and that's good because it helps keep them off the streets too. It gives them something to do. And I believe that in my heart that, when you give students something to do, give them an opportunity, you can keep their mind occupied and it will help them to follow their dreams for sure.
Yeah, and we run a Saturday Night Lights program in conjunction with the NYPD and the District Attorney's Office. So we also offer soccer during high crime times in Washington Heights out of PS 173 from 4 to 8 p.m. So that's actually in conjunction. But I think it's just giving students the opportunity to even let you know what's on their mind because they have a lot of aspirations. And I think sometimes we bypass it. So all the programs we offer give students, space to express themselves.
Yeah. And how do parents get their child involved?
So the thing about America Scores, we're partnered with New York City schools. So in order for your student to actually be involved in America Scores, they have to attend one of the schools that we're partnered with. But all of the alumni and high school programs, the Saturday Night Lights program, the Coaching for Change program, you can apply for that through our America Scores NewYorkScores.org site there, and there'll be links for your students to be a part of our program there as well.
Yeah. Now talk about the Lights program because I heard about the one uptown.
They're all over New York City.
They have the basketball game stuff. They just keep the lights on at one of the schools, right? So
the initiative was with the mayor's office to open 100 gyms during high crime times. So we're in our second year of transitioning of help of that. And now we're partnering with after school programs to kind of hit that mark. So the NYPD, they frequent and visit our practices. They're in sessions, they're building relationships. The students are seeing me talk with them. They're talking about things that's happening in the community. So we're building those relationships and it's actually amazing. It's 4 to 8 every single Saturday in Washington Heights out of PS 173. Yeah.
Now you deal with the 5 boroughs though, right?
Yeah, so we're actually in the Bronx, Washington Heights, Inwood, Harlem, and Brooklyn. We're thinking about hopefully, prayerfully expanding to Queens, and then we'll hit our mark and being in all boroughs. So we're in all, except in Staten Island, we're not there.
Well, it's not too far away. Staten Island's just right across the bridge or right through.
Right.
We'll get there.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump, and then you're there.
Zahkiya, where can we go for more information?
So if you want to be involved with America Scores New York, you can go to our website, americascoresnewyork.org. There you can actually donate. And if you want to be involved, we have a plethora of volunteer opportunities. And there's a form there you can fill out and definitely be a part. And they were always looking to hire high school students as well. So if you go to our Instagram, America Scores New York, there's always opportunities there as well.
Zahkiya Brown, America Scores New York. She's putting it down. She's down by law and she knows her way around. Zahkiya, thank you so much.
We appreciate you. Have an amazing Monday. Thank you, guys.
You too. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Bye.
We love you. Thanks for all that you're doing in our community too. All right, we'll take a break. I've got more open on the way next. Welcome back, everybody. Our next guest is the Chief Executive Officer of Acacia Network, the Acacia Network. And she sits down with us today to speak about the impact that the pandemic has had on the frontline workers and how Acacia is working on improving mental health. So please welcome to the show, Lymaris Albors. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please welcome to the show, Lymaris Albors. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here with you today.
Yes. Tell us all about it. What's it all about? You've been doing this for some time and you have a huge following with it. Tell us how you got it started.
Acacia Network is an integrated organization. We provide housing, primary care, mental health, addiction services, art and culture, and cultural revitalization. We've been doing work in Puerto Rico for resilience houses and in New York. So 2 years ago, during the pandemic, we submitted a grant for the federal government and they awarded only 10 organizations, and La Casa de Salud, one of our affiliates, got awarded $3 million to provide burnt out prevention and resiliency for healthcare providers. And it's not a secret. We know that they were the heroes during the pandemic, and after the pandemic, they were there from day one. We have about 3,000 employees. Many of them are frontline staff. And we wanted to be able to continue to do the things that we were already doing. And we went after some dollars, and now we are super excited It's an intervention that is done at the staff level by the staff. And what we're trying to do is to really address the burned out that we know they are facing after the pandemic.
And you named it the Acacia?
The actual intervention is called Agendas Comunes because it's a coalition of nonprofits from Puerto Rico and in New York. So the initiative is both happening in the Bronx and in Puerto Rico. So the specific initiative is Agendas Comunes.
Yeah. And how has the pandemic impacted the mental health of our frontline workers?
We see it every day. We have staff that are having panic attacks. We have staff that are scared for their life. We have staff that the post-traumatic stress disorder that they are facing, everything, it's an emergency. We also see it in their body, in the body language. They're exhausted. Many of them, what they saw, I don't think that we saw, right? Because we have a nursing home, we have primary care. They were there 24/7. So we see it in their actions, in the way that they are expressing themselves, and they're just tired, like all of us. It's just, we are exhausted.
What are some of the things that we're doing to help them and to help provide and improve the mental health of our frontline workers?
So at Acacia, what we do is that we neutralize it. We talk about it. I'm the CEO, and I need to acknowledge that the pandemic hit me hard, personally, spiritually. So I lead by example. So I want to make sure that they know that it is okay not to be okay. That's the first thing that we do at Acacia. We lead trauma-informed lenses. So we try everything we do to do it with a trauma-informed care. And I can tell you, we did acupuncture, we do massages, we do spa days. We are allowing them to have minutes for meditation, to do walks. We embrace wellness across the board and make it available for all of them.
And you have a government grant for that, right?
Now we do. We started doing it without any dollars. We just did it because it was the right thing to do. In March 2020 is when we started to do a lot of wellness and a lot of intervention. And then we got the grants, and now we're able to sustain.
And here we are, like 2 years, almost 3 years in, 2.5 years. March 2020 was like when we first began to realize that we had this problem. My daughter works in a hospital in Virginia Beach. She said people started coming in October, but they didn't exactly know what was going on at the time. But people had flu-like symptoms and everything. But I think everything started hitting like late February, March, middle of March. And then we started finding out that there was a major problem going on. So, we have to give it to you guys, and the frontline workers giving their lives, sometimes losing their lives, to help us go on living our lives. And that's very, very, very important. So we have to give it to our frontline workers.
I agree 100%. They took care of their families and they took care of the community. So they are, in my view, they are our real heroes.
Yeah. Tell us about La Casa de la Salud's grant, the grant money, and how it will be used to improve mental health care.
So we are doing training first. We have an intervention, which is screening from burnt out. So we want to have psychiatrists and psychologists doing a screening, if you will. So based on the responses, and it is voluntary. We're not mandating this. We just have this incredible tool. We can screen you if you want us to screen you, and depending how you score with that tool, will allow you to tell us if you want us to do, maybe it's a one-on-one with you. We'll then create a plan for you for your wellness. So it's a screening tool. It's done by a psychiatrist. We actually just finished the first training, so everybody knows what that tool is look like and what we were supposed to do with it. The tool started in Puerto Rico in the Menonitas, which is one of our collaborators. They already did that during the pandemic, and what we did, we expanded it to the Bronx. So as I said, a screening tool, and depending how the staff score in that tool, then we create a plan with that staff to allow them to address their burnt out, and they'll address the resiliency that they have.
Yeah. What part of Puerto Rico did you start it
in? In Puerto Rico and San Juan.
San Juan.
Yeah, so we have about 6, 7, 8 agencies that created what is called now Agendas Comunes, and La Casa de Salud, which is Acacia's primary care arm, was the one that submitted the application. So we're kind of like the conduit between the federal government to do the work in the Bronx and in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. And do you have a website for this where we can go and look at what you're doing and see more?
So the first training happened on Friday, and as we speak, Gabriela is putting together our press release with all the different things that we're going to be doing. It's actually a 3-year grant. So this is just the beginning of a 3-year initiative. So yes, you will have information about this.
You want a quick shout out to get, we got less than 30 seconds. A quick shout out to some of the people like Gabriela.
I'm eternally grateful for everybody at Acacia. In this particular grant, I got to thank Lauren Mendehel, the Executive Director of La Casa de Salud, Yebersi Perez Cubillan, who oversees behavioral health services, and Angel Santini, who is our angel in Puerto Rico and in New York. He makes things happen. So they're the champions of this. And I'm very proud of all of them.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and you're always welcome to come back and share more, all right? Between New York and Puerto Rico, hey, you got it going on. Thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much. Be safe. Bye-bye.
You too. Lymaris Albors, Chief Executive Officer, Acacia Network. We'll take a break. I've got more. It's all happening next right here on Open. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. I have a man on the line. He's from New Jersey, from the shore, and he's a rapper and hip hop artist. And he's with us today to speak about his rise in the music industry and to highlight his debut singles, Love is Blind and Clap Clap. So please welcome to the show, Inf Grizzy, INF Grizzy. Welcome.
I appreciate you, Bob Lee, the king in the house. What's going on, my brother?
Oh, man, I heard a whole lot about you. I'm good, man. But now we want to find out about you.com. So tell us about everything that you're doing, man.
Basically, since me and my manager got together, we got on a serious note from last year. And we came up with a conclusion like, all right, we need to get serious with this music now. We got to take this to the death of us right now.
Yeah,
so
why not?
yeah, so how we came up with that, like, I had songs already made before, like, we even planned the album already. So it was like probably like 4 of them made already, 5 about.
Yeah.
So it was like we're listening through like certain beats and stuff like that and some songs. And we're like, all right, this going on the album, that ain't going on the album. This going on the album, that ain't going on the album. So,
Yeah.
so basically, we got a 14-track album. Intro is shout outs. Mid-tro is a prayer that I did, you know, ever since been listening to DMX, you know, DMX doing the prayers, you know, it drawed on me. I'm like, all right, so I could do that too. So I did it too. So, and then the outro is the shout outs too. So, you know, throughout the album, it's pretty good, you know, and I'm working on the second one as we speak. So, but, you know, I'm just trying to keep focused and do what we do. The music game is.
I know you have a vault. If you said we're gonna do this, we're not gonna do this. So you got some stuff like Prince and all of them. They have that vault if you're no longer here, that stuff can still come out, right?
It still could come out. I could bring it to the drawing board, you know, redo something, and switch it around.
Good. Hey, how does being an artist impact you and your family? Does it take away from your family? Because, you know, when you give it your all, you guys, it's like, you know, for me, it hurt me later on, thinking that I gave so much of my time to this right here, and you neglected sort of kind of family. You know, you later on you say, damn, I wish I could have spent more time with my family. But, you know, when you want to do something in life and you're passionate about it, you got to give it that time.
So basically, I'm like the black sheep of my family. So me, as the only artist in my family, I just been doing this every day, you know, nonstop. I started from being in the booth, rapping this and that, and then my brother picked up on it too. So he joined me in the booth, and then now he's the second person in my family to be a rapper. You know what I mean? So he took after my steps, and it's a blessing for him to pick up just like that. And now he's doing what he's doing. He's growing. So no, it's not affecting my family at all in no type of way. They proud of me. They congratulate me, and they happy with my success, what I'm doing right now.
What was the moment that you first knew that this is my passion and this is what I wanted to do?
That moment is like, honestly, I really didn't know I was going to be an artist, like coming up quick as I did right now. You know what I mean? Because throughout the years, I just like, all right, I'm a rapper, but I don't want to consider myself a rapper. I consider myself as an artist because I write. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So as soon as we drop Love is Blind, the record, the single off the album, that's when I say I'm an artist, and this is what I'm music about.
Yeah. And you're gonna own, if you're writing, you own your publishing and all that stuff. So you're gonna get into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like some of those boxes now that promote the shows, you know, they're not only a boxer, they promote the whole show. That's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
Who are some of your mentors in this business? Some of the people that you looked up to while coming along? I think you mentioned some when you did that. You said you did the prayer song.
Yes, DMX. You know, ever since I've been listening to DMX, you know, I love his gritty style, you know, his swag. Every time, like, I'm in a bad mood, I listen to him because, you know, it turns your bad mood into a good mood because you want to bounce and do things and stuff. So, you know, I love his aggressiveness and his voice and stuff like that. So, you know, that's one of my mentors right there. Like, I look up to him, you know, all his songs. Some of his songs is like deep, like Slipping, that everybody can relate to that, you know?
Yeah. We went to the same school. Well,
oh, yeah?
School away from school.
Okay.
But, you know, that's the way love goes. How do you describe your singles? Love is Blind and Clap Clap.
Love is Blind is basically off my life. So I was in a serious relationship and something just told me to sit back and think about things. So I did. I started writing that. And as I wrote it, I'm like, this is it right here. Everybody can relate to this.
Yeah. And Clap Clap?
So I figured that I needed another club banger. So, you know, Clap Clap was like something that just came to mind. You know, I was just sitting there just writing. I heard this beat. Okay, I could do this. It's nothing. So I just started writing the verse or whatever, and then the hook. And then I hit my man up that's on the record with me, YB De Niro. Shout out to him too for jumping on the record. And it came together. We pieced it together. We sent it to the engineers. We mastered it. And then now we got the club record. second single, baby.
And what's the name of the album coming out?
The album's called Addicted.
Ba-bam, just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. So it feels good knowing that you got all of this together, put it all together like that, and now you can just, here you go.
Yes. It's a blessing. You know, if it wasn't for the man upstairs, this wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I know that's right. Now, won't you give a shout out to some of the people who help, you know, there's always like a little team helping you put it together. You give them a big shout out.
I want to give a big shout out to Casey there, man. One Stop Shop Hip Hop. Shout out to my manager, Pat. High Rolling Entertainment. Shout out to Lookout Productions. Shout out to everybody that's associated with this album. So shout out to the whole team. Y'all doing a great job, and I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate you for having me on here. The king, Mr. Bob Lee, my man.
Hey, man, you know, it's always, you know, that love goes right back to you because, you know, you got, it's a circle of love. You get by giving, you know, so it comes back around to you. It comes right back around to you. So, where can we go? I know you got the social media thing, you got a website, all that stuff. Right now, maybe we got 30 seconds.
You can find me on Spotify, all platforms. You can find me on Instagram, Inf Grizzy 5. Everything is Inf Grizzy. YouTube, Inf Grizzy. Everything is Inf Grizzy.
And before we go, name those songs again on that album that's sticking out in your mind right now.
2 singles that's dropped. Love is Blind. Check the video out on YouTube, and Clap Clap, the single is set.
Dropping right now.
No.
Dropping right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Album coming soon, baby.
Hey, man, thank you so much for joining us. INF.
I appreciate you.
Grizzy, my man. Thank you so much.
Bless, man.
My bro. All right, we'll take a quick break right here. Coming up next, Bobby C. He has the latest in the world of sports. Next on Open.
On Friday, we spoke to standout student athlete Thomas Quigley at Fordham's Rose Hill campus as he discussed Fordham's club baseball team and their run at the Nationals. Here's part 2 of that interview.
I thought it'd be cool to kind of take the show on the road this morning here in honor of you guys traveling, and then for the fans at home, they'll get a chance to see what we're scheming and planning here at BronxNet. And of course, not the traditional background for me at home. But it'll be pretty cool, and I'm sure you'll be excited once you see what we're doing. But congratulations, of course, on winning the regionals and heading to the Nationals. Tell us a little bit about this upcoming opponent, because you've got some really good teams in this next bracket.
Yeah, so we are, once again, the lowest seeded team headed into this next tournament. And, you know, I guess I will attribute that to our tough conference once again. But our first opponent is California University of Pennsylvania, which is a school that I had not heard of until I saw them consistently at the top of the rankings that the NCBA puts out every 2 weeks. So, you know, they've been on our radar, and they have, I think, like 1 or 2 losses all year. So they're a really strong team. At least they have been this year. So it'll be interesting to see what they have in store for us, because I know that they probably play in a bit of a smaller conference out in Pennsylvania. But we have some really good pitching that will keep us in any game really that we've ever played. And that'll be a very fun game. If we win that game, there's a good chance that we end up playing Penn State. They have a D1 club baseball team and a D2 club baseball team. We're in the Division II club baseball World Series. So we'll get the B squad, but you know, that's a huge school. a lot of good athletes coming out of Penn State. So I'm sure that they would give us a good run for our money too. But 2 Pennsylvania schools that are on our radar that we'll probably have to play. It's a double elimination tournament with 8 teams. So if we lose 2 games, we have to go home. But if we keep winning, we're in a good spot.
Yeah, I mean, pitching. I know you're a Red Sox fan, but Yankees have shown that this year when you've got some depth in that rotation, in that bullpen, that it can help you win some games. Some of the other guys, too, at FUB, I thought we should give them a shout-out because you've got Michael Calamari, who's doing pretty good, our new assistant sports manager, who's behind the plate for the club baseball team and hitting in the upper part of the order and doing pretty well. But I don't know if you want to give any more shout-outs here on the show. It's a golden opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I'll definitely give another shout-out to Matthew Benson, who's a freshman at WFUV, Pat Amaturo, who is one of our managers on the team, and Ryan Gregoire, of course, the sports manager of WFUV that began at the beginning of May. He has been our manager all year, helping us out with social media, live tweeting games, helping us keep the book. So I got to give a shout out to Ryan Gregoire. There's definitely other names that I should mention, but I can't think of them right now. Oh, Sebastian Seabach, another freshman, WFUV. He's a great arm out of the pen.
Quiggs, a bittersweet time as you're wrapping up your senior year. Congratulations, of course, on graduation, but this has also been a time to have to kind of start to say goodbye to some things, even though it's not like goodbye forever, because you get a chance to come back to Fordham and see club baseball or see WFUV. But, for you, there have been some good celebrations of late. And I know for me, it was a chance to kind of dust off my old baseball/softball glove, but we had a little staff game. And I feel like, I did pretty good. I know you did pretty good. Talk a little bit about some of these celebrations on the way out the door at Rose Hill, moments that I'm sure will be etched in your mind forever.
Yeah, I mean, this college experience has been such an up and down with, having started with a very normal year. My sophomore year, the world kind of took a turn for the worse with the pandemic. So, it was a very trying time, just like with all of the social aspects, kind of losing touch with some friends good friends that you made freshman, sophomore year. But this past year it's been great that we've kind of had close to a normal year in terms of, back to in-person classes. And now, with the graduation season upon us, it's been so much better to have in-person events, saying goodbye, but in the best possible ways. The softball game was so much fun. I missed it my freshman year. It was so much fun to go out there and, see all these people that we talk about. We're constantly talking sports on the radio, on podcasts with each other, and just in social settings. And we finally get to, actually lace up the cleats and show our stuff on the softball field. So that was so much fun. But yeah, so all the graduation stuff, very bittersweet. It's hard to say goodbye to all this stuff, but it's been so much fun, and it's been a great time to reflect on how lucky I've been to be involved in so many awesome clubs and societies at Fordham, like club baseball, WFUV. It's been so awesome to just really kind of reminisce on how fun it's been.
The softball game was actually like the appetizer for your final senior show at WFUV. And we have a really cool clip that I thought we could show here on the show this morning. Check this out.
Congratulations. Good luck to all of you, whoever is graduating. I know that you guys will make FUV proud. Thank you guys for maintaining the legacy that has been put in front of you guys, and have a great show.
Thank you very much.
Anthony,
thank you, Anthony.
Thank you so much for those kind words. That's Anthony Pusick, WFUV alum, and a big fan of our show, and we love that. Artemi Panarin.
He barely touched the puck last game.
Yeah. The bread man has not really been. I
not bringing
can't
the
believe
bread.
I didn't even think about that.
He's
been MIA.
He's not the bread man as of right now.
Yes. I mean, there are times in the series where he's really had chances to contribute and just been a little too cute with the puck, and that's kind of just been the indictment on his entire Rangers career. He was really good in his first year. This year he's been a little too cute with the puck, and it's like at this point it's the playoffs. All you really need to do is find the open man and get pucks to the net. And when you're trying to do fancy footwork and fancy stick work, a lot of times that can come back to bite you, especially in a time where it's all about bounces. It's all about bounces.
Well, I think from an overall place, and yes, it's all about bounces, and that actually interestingly plays into a point I want to make here is that, the Rangers are the better power play scoring team in this series. They're also the better penalty kill team in this series. And that's great for the, 10, 12, maybe 15 minutes that you're going to either have a man advantage or be down a man, and you're going to be thinking in that certain mindset. But there's another 45 minutes of hockey to be played, and that needs to be something about everybody. And that comes to the point about, nobody can be neutral on the ice, because the Penguins will... The Penguins, I don't think, are as good of a team as the Rangers are. I do not think that. But they will find those holes and they will poke them. And they've been doing that all this entire series. So the Rangers really need to look out for that.
Yeah, Quiggs, before we let you go, good luck, of course, in Nationals. But I figured I could pick your brain real quick on what you think of the New York Rangers and their chances of maybe winning the Stanley Cup this year.
Well, I would have probably had a better answer, or at least a more excited, enthusiastic answer at the beginning of the playoffs. They kind of didn't play great against the Penguins, a lesser opponent that they kind of beat up on all regular season. And they faced their third-string goalie for 6 out of the 7 games in this series. But the way that they were able to battle back, down 3-1 in games, down 2-0 in Game 5, down 2-0 in Game 6, ended up winning both of those, and they were down 3-2 last night with only 9 minutes left in their season. And, of course, Mika Zibanejad tying the game up, and then Artemi Panarin with the power play goal in overtime, sending them to the second round. It gives me a little bit of hope because there really is no quit in New York. I know that's kind of the corny slogan that they've been putting on their rally towels, but this has been a team that's showed that they can come back from adversity all season. They had the second most comeback wins during the regular season in 27. At this point, it's hard to bet against the Rangers because as soon as you count them out, they'll show you why they're still playing hockey in May now.
Well, there you have it. WFUV New York Rangers beat reporter and standout center fielder for the Fordham Club baseball team, Thomas Quigley. Thomas, congratulations again on all the success, and congratulations on being part of Class of 2022.
Thanks so much, Bobby.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at BronxNet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
Welcome. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WPLS. Our last guests are the multidimensional musician and songwriter and his manager from IJF Media or Management. And we're here from the Bronx native gospel musician to learn about his journey as an artist, God's calling on his life, and how he has continuously pushed the genre of gospel music and highlight his album, Home. So please welcome to the show, Mike the Chaplain and Sunshine Woodall. Welcome.
Thank you for having us. Bob, it's been such a long time, and it's great to see you once again.
Well, Sunshine, Tracy, it's always a pleasure to see you. We've done so many things in the past, and now I see that you're still doing the good works, and you're helping others get what they need out of life, and you know how very important that is.
Yes, it is. You're my motivation. Well, all the work we've done in the community has motivated me to continue to be a part of the community. So I definitely commend you for everything that you have done throughout the years. You definitely deserve it.
Yes, with you and your sisters in the community, and with Hal Jackson's Talented Teams International Contest. So what are you working on today? You're always involved in something good.
Yes, I am. I am so excited for this new journey that I'm taking now as a manager. I'm the CEO of a management company called IJF Management. And my first artist is this man of God, Mike the Chaplain, that I'm blessed to have under my management company. I've known him for many years. We've both went to the same church together. Shout out to the Cathedral at Greater Faith under the late, great Pastor Michelle White Hayes. That's where I met him, and we were members of church. And he's been always singing, songwriting, recording for many years. He's accomplished so many things which I'm going to let him get on and say the things that he's done. But during the pandemic, around that time was when we connected in regards to having him come under the management company. And he had this vision of home, which is his project that he's doing that is just really, it's a movement. I can't even say it's a project because it's been a blessing to so many people, and his music is just a fragment of everything that we're about to bring forth to the world. So I'm excited about that. So without further ado, I want Mike the Chaplain to come on and just say a little bit more about the home movement.
Yeah, Mike, tell us about it.
Yeah, man. First of all, I'm blessed to be here with you guys. Bob Lee, God bless you. Tracy, thank you so much for literally connecting us. I'm grateful. Well, the Home Project is really based on home. Especially within the last 2 years in dealing with the pandemic. I believe that the home base nationally, internationally has been affected. And just being able to witness some of the things as far as with the stats, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to families, when it comes to jobs, there has been a complete imbalance. And I just felt that there was a great calling. And that was right around the time that I literally just gotten my chaplaincy, Right, I had gotten my chaplaincy, my chaplain badge the year before the project. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely brought about the understanding of bringing Christ, you know what I'm saying, to the crisis. You know what I'm saying? So Home, the project deals with learning how to really learn how to love in the midst of a crisis, learning how to deal publicly with relationships, whether that be business, personal, being able to deal while being in the pressure.
That's beautiful, man. I like that. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and how it led you to become the singer, songwriter, chaplain, and the person of God that you are.
Well, first of all, I mean, honestly, I give honor to God. And of course, I grew up in church. The funny thing about my background is I was born and raised in church. Shout out to my mother, Helen Flowers. Definitely an amazing woman of God. And of course, my dad, who's also a minister. And I grew up in a family household. And of course, it had a lot, it impacted me a lot. I literally remember going to church probably 5 days a week, like literally like Bob, literally.
No, I
like five, like 5 days. So like 5 days a week. And after school, I went to the school called King's Academy. It was a private school down in Manhattan. And it's called King's Academy. After I would get out of there, my father will pick me up, and then we'll go to my first home church, Emmanuel Pentecostal Faith Church. So through then, it was music. My mom was the choir director. All that, you know what I'm saying? She, my mom, if you could see my mother now, I couldn't imagine her doing no type of directing. But back then, it was. Oh, you know what I'm saying? She was rocking the choir, and my grandmother, which is even more hilarious, my grandmother is as well a choir director as well over the senior choir of the church. Oh, wow. So, with that being said, my musical roots started there. And at around the age of, I believe, about 9, 10, I had, my mother switched churches, and she moved to where I served under Bishop Michelle White Haynes, rest in paradise. She passed away this past year. So, she took me under her wing, her and her son, Stephen White. And the fact of the matter is, and of course, my brothers alongside with them helped nurture and develop the gift. So I've been doing music all my life. Ministry is a whole nother beast. So that has always been in my whole entire world.
When was the first time you sang in front of a major audience?
The first time I sung in front of my version of major would be when I first went on tour. All right. First went on tour, I was about 24 years old. I was with the Harlem Gospel Choir, right? We definitely would travel the world internationally. And I remember the first tour to where I went to Ireland and Australia. Man, it was like about 5,000 people in the building. And we was doing an MJ tour. Yeah. And we was on, definitely you could look it up on YouTube, the MJ Good Morning America. This was like when he passed. And we sung I'll Be There, and you know what I'm saying? I sung Man in the Mirror. And just to look and the feeling of that building, of that space, was so pandemonium to me. And to see the lives that were affected, to see people cry and to see people unify, it was very, very different.
Yeah, and it was time for you to come on. How did you start up with that Man in the Mirror song? I'm just gonna bring that connection back. Here we go.
So like, you know, with my roots, I'm like, you know, with my roots, I'm like, you know, I also started off with praise and worship. So, you know, we have a way with how we kind of like sing a song, you know, so I'm kind of putting myself in the seat of David, you know, in the Bible, you know, I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you go into the joint and you start really getting your because you put yourself in the seat of the song. Like, it's no longer about performing. It's about, I'm talking from experience. This is what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? So to see the crowd to kind of like embrace the authenticity, it was a feeling like none other.
That was that feeling right there. And Tracy, when did you first meet him?
Met Mike. Like I told you, it was in church. We used to sing in the choir together and on the praise team. And I just knew that, you know, his talent, like the way he just sang in the church, I just knew it was beyond the church. And he's always done work outside of the church. But like I said, I was also, you know, as you know, Bob, I was always doing stuff in the music industry. So, you know, with my sister, shout out to the Woodall sisters, Jennifer, Kim, shout out to y'all. But I've always done stuff in the music industry. And being that I came from being an artist to being a songwriter, and I kind of transitioned in many ways. As I've gotten older, I wanted to just, you know, give back. And I wanted to kind of utilize all the connections that I made in the past and say, you know, how can I use this to help someone else? So, you know, Mike has always been doing work with a lot of big people in the gospel, you know, world, and he's always connected with everyone. And when we linked up, it's just now like we're coming together. I'm bringing him to people that I know, and then we're just working together. And IJF Management, I just thought I'd create, because I know that it's time for Mike to come forth, not only through the music, but through his ministry. You know, I feel that with everything that's going on in this world, it's time for a message of positivity, a time for, you know, hope to come forth. And it's more than just the music, it's a message. We need to change the hearts and minds of our people, because we're going through a lot right now. It's a lot of depression, a lot of mental illness, suicide. It's a lot of things that's happening due to the pandemic. And I just feel that Mike the Chaplain, the vision that God has given him and ordained him to come forth, I feel I need to back that in any way. So that's why I'm really excited about the music. I'm excited about the people that are looking forward to hearing it. He has a great support system. So I feel that it's time for him to go all the way. I think the world is ready. The world is ready.
The world is ready for it. He's brought it all home now.
Yeah.
Mike the Chaplain brought it home. Bring it home, Mike. Bring it home. What do you want people to know about your latest single, Home?
Well, first of all, definitely, I'm grateful. You know, when it comes to my latest single, it really deals with loving from an unconditional place.
Agape place.
Yeah, man. Come on, Dr. Bob Lee. That's right, man. And learning that in order for us to get there, we don't get there ourselves. It's God that loves through us. So being able to be available for him to love through us to others. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, I may not always be able to understand your background or understand your culture. I may not know all of these things, but the Bible says that the Spirit of God leads us and guides us into all truth.
Man.
So the fact of the matter is not that I have to know it all, because I don't. There's no way I can know it all. You know what I'm saying, Dr. Bob? You know what I'm saying?
Does.
But God does. You understand what I'm saying? So, just being available and saying, you know what? With the things that I do not understand, I trust God with. And I make sure that I make the investment to be used by God. And in moments of weakness, understand that in my weakness, his strength is made perfect. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about getting people to understand that homes is where you deal with your flaws.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Home is where you take off the mask. Home is where you should, right? The fact of the matter is, we need to fortify our home, and it starts with us recognizing that we are a type of home.
Preach on. Mike the Chaplain. We're going to bring him back on and let him preach the show. But that's a beautiful thing, man. We wish you all the luck and love in the world. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Mike, for all that you're doing. Listen, where can we go to get more information? You got the websites. How can we follow you? All of that.
Yes. All right. So Instagram, of course, Mike the Chaplain. Definitely Bigo Live, Mike the Chaplain. And of course, my website, MikeTheChaplain.com, all of those things. And of course, you can Google me, Mike the Chaplain. So that's, these are ways you can reach out to me. Facebook, same thing, Mike the Chaplain or Mike Flowers, all of those things. You can definitely Google me and I'll pop.
Mike, you got the flowers. Tracy, where can we get yours?
Well, the same, IJF Management on Instagram. Facebook is Tracy Sunshine Woodall. And once again, I just also wanted to add, the home album is on all digital platforms. It's out right now. So definitely picked up the album. It's amazing. And we also have another project coming out called The Bedroom Auction. And that's on May 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's on Bigo Live. You have to download the free Bigo Live app to see this particular event. And it's going to be amazing. The Bedroom album is nothing to play with. It's definitely written for the women, right, Mike? It's written for the women. It's a spiritual album, but it's definitely like God speaking to his daughters. And it's a powerful, powerful album that I really want y'all to definitely get on Bigo Live and see the auction on May 27th, 9 p.m.
You got it. All right, well, we got to come back again. Mike, you get something real quick?
One more thing. I got to give a shout out to the big bro, Martin Christie, who's definitely my label manager dealing with major courts. And I'm super excited, man, about what we're building, what's about to happen. And the fact of the matter is, God's got great things in store. So I'm appreciative. Thank you, Dr. Bob Lee.
Bringing it home, Mike the Chaplain. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mike. And also Tracy Sunshine Woodall, IJF Management NYC. Word. Now we can say word, right? Word. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for letting me share in this space and time with you. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Always remember this. What you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let the choice control the chooser. I'll see you another day, another way. In fact, I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.